Welcome back to AP World History. We're moving on to Chapter 6. We're going to see the rise and spread of Islam and its profound effect on the Middle East and Northern Africa and Southeast Asia. We look at the pre-Islamic Arabian world. Mostly it was Bedouins, that is, nomadic tribes. Camels, goats, sheep were the real wealth. Man measured his wealth in camels. Uh, Agricultural crops that were adapted to the dry climate, um, difficult to grow some. Oases, places where they had water, which was nowadays pretty scarce, but was more available during this period. Um, Camel caravans are going to be the mode of travel and trade in the area. Scattered tribes, clans, uh, fought over the water because it was a premium. The tribes were pretty much at each other's throat. A lot of competition. Here shows some of the caravans, and so they did trade with India and also China. The Roman India roots of first century shows here. You can see that they went through the Islamic area, the Arabian area. Um, Clans were controlled by sheikhs, chiefs. They were free warriors who worked for the sheikhs. Uh, and there was constant rivalry between these different sheikhs for who was going to be the top dog in the area. They did have trading posts throughout Arabia. Mecca was considered a holy area. The Umayyad clan of the Quraysh were the dominant tribe around Mecca. Kaaba was the most holy shrine there. Uh, Medina will be the place that Muhammad will come from. Shows Medina and Mecca, the two holiest sites in Islam, Jerusalem being the third most holy site. This shows the holy site of Mecca and the pilgrimage that you're expected to take if you're a Muslim. Uh, there were around 7 kingdoms in 1000 BCE to 700 CE. You don't need to know these, but that's something to look at. Medina was the second holiest city, and it's where Muhammad's tomb is located. Uh, in terms of the social structure, men usually claim their lineage through their mothers. Women had an important role in taking care of the children, raising the crops, and tending the flocks, and weaving cloth, and those sorts of things. Multiple marriages were allowed for both men and women. At this period, they had no written language, but they told stories through poems, poetry. Um, as far as what they worshipped, the Bedouins were polytheistic, Amitism, that is, worshipping rocks and uh, monuments and those kinds of things, attributing life to inanimate objects. Um, in this area, there were the Quraysh tribe that believed in a supreme god named Allah. Uh, Quraysh also prayed and sacrificed to Allah. Uh, Whether this was the main religion is speculative. Muhammad is going to come from the Quraysh tribe in 570 CE. He is an orphan and raised by his father's relatives. He is educated to become a merchant. He goes on caravans to Syria. In the Middle East, he's exposed to Judaism and Christianity, which he gets a lot of his ideas for Islam. There's a lot of similarities. Now he will take up residence in Mecca, and he will work for Khadijah, who will later become his wife. He is exposed to a lot of different philosophies and ideas, all which will shape his thinking. In 610 CE, he claims that he receives a revelation from Allah through the angel Gabriel. These revelations were not written down by him, but later by followers of Muhammad. And this will become known as the Quran. Here shows Muhammad receiving the revelation from the angel Gabriel. He said that he received this revelation in a cave at Hira, which is considered a holy site. This is an example of the Quran written in Arabic. The Umayyad tribe, which he is related to, fears that this new religion that he's coming up with may replace their gods, their idols, at Kuba. And they're fearing that they will not be the center of worship and commerce. So eventually Muhammad is forced out or be murdered. Muhammad preaches to the new believers, particularly at Medina. Eventually he will march back, and after defeating the Umayyad, and they will sign a peace treaty. One of the things that he does that impresses the Umayyad is that he goes and destroys the many idols and claims that there is just one God, Allah, and he eventually wins them over. So he destroys the idols. This is a Kaaba, the noble cube, which has been rebuilt, but this is the most holy shrine or symbol in Islam, and it's located in Mecca. The new faith unifies the Bedouins, and they throw off the dominance of the neighboring empires. Ummah, or community of faithful, will bind the old tribes together, create boundaries, and they will set out to conquer the Middle East. This new holy war, or jihad, will force people to capitulate, accept the new faith, Islam. This shows the expansion of Islam in the 7th and 8th century. Now, Islam really means submission to the will of Allah. And we're going to stop there, and we'll pick this up, part 2, next time.